Welcome to Go On Shot TV. I'm Doug Roxburgh, and this year the Fort McMurray Oil Barons start a brand new journey. Last year, their season ended with Captain Jetlyn Houcher going to the University of Alabama and the hiring of brand new head coach Tom Keca. Well, this year we're going to find out how the Oil Barons are doing by speaking with Coach Keca, as well as play-by-play fish Brad Karp. You'll have to wait around for that because first, Craig Momney finds out the new procedures for snow removal in the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo. Back at the Casman Center this time with head coach Tom Keca. Tom, this is your first year with the Oil Barons. How's it been going so far this year?
You know what, we've had better days, but I mean, this is obviously a process this year, and we knew that, we had a young team. There were going to be some growing pains, and we're experiencing a few of those growing pains right now. But the one important thing for us is that we can't blame the players. The players are giving us everything that, that they got. So, we take the good with the bad. There are sunnier days ahead. There's progress, and we're excited about the way the team is taking shape.
There was a lot of coach speak in there, so I'm going to dissect it just a little bit because you guys have had some challenges this year, but you've lost a lot of close games, a lot of overtime games. So what are some of the challenges you've actually been in this year?
Well, I mean, for us to have such a young group, I mean, sometimes you have to learn how to win before you can actually win, and that's a very long process. The other thing for us is the fact that, as a coaching staff, sometimes is it worse to get beat really bad and know that you're not very close or keep losing those one-goal games. I think, the 3 overtime games we've had this year, we've lost leads in the third period, and that's the sign that you've got a young team. So when our guys learn how to get over that hump, again, we'd like to think that once we get a couple wins together, we might be able to string 3 or 4 and get out of this funk that we're in.
To get out of that funk, who are some of the standout players that you're going to rely on?
Well, you know what? You only go as far as your leaders, and we've got an unbelievable leadership group with Tyler Day, all of our assistant captains. I don't want to name any of them, so they've been real good. We've been very fortunate that our younger guys have really stepped up, and when you got guys like, Shane Fraser, Marcus Kitchton, our goaltender Eric Sudor, I mean, that's why the future looks so bright. So if we can get that leadership that we expect from our older guys, our younger guys will be poised to take that next step at the end of the year.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Tom. We're going to get a little more in-depth with the Oil Barons with play-by-play man, or play-by-play fish, Bradley Karp, a little later on in the show. First, we're going to head down to Edmonton for another story from our shop partners. As promised, join with me is play-by-play fish, Brad Karp from Rogers Radio. Brad, thanks for joining us. And the Barons have been off to a slow start. Can they improve?
Of course they can. It's early in the season. They're only, 12, 13 games into a 60-game season, so there's lots of time to turn it around, but the longer they wait, the harder it gets.
What have you seen so far that they can improve on? Because it's been a struggle getting those W's on the board.
Well, when you have one win on the board, you can improve in pretty much every facet, but one thing this team doesn't have to worry about is goaltending. Ravi Detani and Eric Sudor have been great. It's the players in front of them that have struggled at times, and defense has been suspect at points. Their breakout game has been a little weak. Transition has been weak. The power play is starting to turn things on. The special teams are coming along a bit better. There's small improvements game in, game out, but as a whole, they seem to have a real hard time in the third period.
Any standout players that you've witnessed so far?
Landon Walakalu has been real good up front, leads the team in points. Mark Drohan is second in scoring, a 17-year-old defenseman with Western Hockey League aspirations. There have been some really good young players. Shane Fraser has been a great pickup on the fourth line as a defensive forward, real good on draws. Ben Sharf has been good again. Both goaltenders, Detani and Sudor, have been excellent. And young guys like Brett Edwards have stepped up and made a real impact early on, and they look like they're going to be career AJHL players who put up some big numbers.
Do you think they can make a run going to the playoffs? I know it's a couple months away. We don't have to worry about the playoffs happening tomorrow, but it's a couple months. Can they make a run?
Well, the nice thing about the way the AJHL has set things up is it's kind of a nice little participation medal, Doug. Every team in each division, except for just one, gets into the postseason. So the Oil Barons not far behind Grand Prairie. Still lots of time to catch up to the middle of the playoff spot.
Good thing for those slick AJHL rules, right?
Absolutely.
Brad, how has it been first year calling the Oil Barons play-by-play? Is it everything you expected and more?
It's been great. Finally, the curse is gone, so that's been a nice moose leg off my back, but it's been a lot of fun. The guys, it's a good group of guys. It's been a lot great fans here, too. I mean, you can't really beat the atmosphere at the Casman Center.
And you look good. Look at you. He looks good for a play-by-play guy. Not bad for radio.
Thank you. Well, I went to get my hair cut at the salon and I asked for the Doug Roxburgh, but I didn't quite get it as nice as you, so...
He's making me blush.
Can't beat the original, I guess.
Well, thanks very much for joining us today, Brad, on Go On Shot TV. Get ready for weather. And so an end comes to this edition of Go on Shot TV. I've been Doug Roxburgh. Just a reminder that on Wednesday, October 21st, the Fort McMurray Oil Barons are against Sherwood Park. Come down to the Casman Center, you'll have a good one. Also, Dream Home tickets are on sale. Support Junior A hockey today. Have a good one, Fort Mac.